In a world desperate to tear itself apart, only one man, and some other people, stand in the way of total destruction. Together they will right the wrongs, make bad good, and single-handedly destroy evil, together. Who is this man, you may ask? This man is Geoff.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better, the show that takes one of life's little annoyances, gives them a microphone, a guest, and a podcast to quite simply make everything better. I am delighted on this episode to be joined by a good friend of mine, author Mr. Luke Melia. Luke, how the devil are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Do you know what? I'm not too bad. The sun's still shining, even though I think it's the middle of the night. It's still about 21 degrees, which I don't know in American terms for anyone listening is, I don't know, C. I don't know. They do. They're weird. They do it weird.
I've got no idea. Yeah,
it's not to 100. It's simple. Anyway, Luke, thank you so much for joining me. I know you're a busy guy. Please tell me, what is it that we are making better today?
So dreaming. Dreams and dreaming.
Right, I need to clarify, is this when you go to sleep in dreams, or is this I have a dream?
Like, this is when you go to sleep.
Okay, cool. So it's not about the hopes and aspirations, it's about just closing your eyes.
This time.
And your brain just taking over and so you're on a wild ride. Carl, what is it that kind of most annoys you about the world of dreams?
I think dreaming is one of those things that the more you start to think about it, the more annoying it becomes. So I'm hoping that it's just hit me now that by talking about this, I'm hoping people listening aren't suddenly going to start to get annoyed by dreams. Or if they are, maybe it's a bit like The Ring, where I passed on the burden, so I'll be eased a little bit.
Right. Okay. Yes.
But I think it's I think what annoys me most is that you and I are both writers, so we know what it's like to try and create something and what that process is like and how your mind works at a certain speed.
Yeah.
But the actual process of making that, and you can build these worlds in seconds in your head, and then putting that into paper is such a long-winded and slow process, and it never comes out as well as you want it to. It's never quite as good. And with dreams, you don't have that issue. With dreams, you're just in a space. Subconsciously, you build everything instantly. It all makes sense, and then you wake up and it's gone. And that's the annoying bit. Is there's a certain amount you can remember sometimes, but barely anything, and then it's just gone. All that creativity wasted.
It's got okay. So it's kind of, it's not the actual act of dreaming. It's just the kind of lack of control of There's no save button. Like you can't.
The lack of control and the lack of memory of it is what I find annoying.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I mean, that's because I'm one of those people. I say that I rarely dream. And it's probably just because I don't remember it. Because everyone dreams, right? We just don't remember. I don't know. I'm no expert. But I have had that. And you wake up at 3 a.m. You're like, this is the best idea ever. And I'll remember it. And then you just don't remember it. You're never going to remember it. But you know that it was great. And then you try telling someone. They say that, I had this great dream last night. First of all, nobody cares when you say that.
No.
If you say, I had this dream I had last night, nobody's like, oh my gosh, please tell me about that dream. Pretty please tell me. And then they're like, well, this happened. And then at some point I was standing in the queue at Tesco's, but then all of a sudden a unicorn came. And people were like, what do you call it? Because you can't articulate it properly, but you just know it was great.
You know it was good, and that's what you can remember.
Yeah.
And that's, do you know what the most interesting dream I ever had was?
Go on.
I don't know. That's why it's annoying. I have no. I'll wake up and there's something in my head that will say, you've just experienced something, and I'll go, What was it? What is it that you want to tell me? And my brain will just go, no, it doesn't matter.
So
It's gone. Yeah.
It's
And I said,
gone.
oh no, it looked kind of cool. What was it? Nope, too late. And we're there for what, 6 to 8 hours a night. A third of our life is in a space that we can, create faster than we can for the other 2/3. And yet, as soon as we wake up, it's gone.
Gone.
That's very annoying.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of quite. That's quite deep, actually. Luke. I wasn't expecting that from you. This.
You've read the books. You know how much I dream.
That is true. In fact, I know that you had some messed up dreams because I have read your books.
And you're right in that. Sorry, it's all coming to me now. You're right in that all you're left with really is this feeling or this idea of, you get a sense of what happened.
Yeah.
You might not remember the specifics. You remember if it was good or scary, or you remember if you fell in love or was sad or embarrassed, but you don't remember the specifics.
Yeah.
And actually, there's kind of, I think there's a lot of art that's like that. There's a lot of films and music. I think if someone tells me a film I saw 20 years ago, I go, that was amazing. What was it about?
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I remember it was really good. But at least I can go back and experience that again.
And I am that guy. I'm the guy who always says, they're like, oh, have you seen this film? I would say, yes, it's brilliant. What's your favourite bit? I don't know. Actually, no, I also hate when people say, oh, yeah, like this film. Yes, I do. Oh, do you remember that bit when De Niro said, no, I don't. Why am I going to? I remember it enough to recommend it. I'm not going to quote it. I'm not doing a stage play of it. Digressing. So I did have 2 dreams that I remember. I'm 41 years old. My IMDb will say 29.
Yeah.
But I have 2 dreams I remember. One of them was it was real life horror kind of. It was so close to home. It scarred my memory. It was that vivid. It was that personal. I don't think I'll ever forget it scene by scene.
Right.
And the second one was when I gave up smoking and I was on Champex. So I've given up smoking many times. One of the times I was on Champex. Now, a side effect to Champex is vivid dreams. And
I didn't know that. I'll have to find some.
I stopped Champex because of it. Right. And you know what? There are some of my closest friends that do not know this. And so, do I? No, okay, I've got to know, haven't I? So this dream I had whilst on Champex was I was in my bedroom, my home bedroom that I share with my wife. And all of a sudden, this stunning frame of a woman walks in. Can't see the head, just body, wearing, I don't know, black bikini or lingerie, that kind of thing. We lay down on the bed and we make love, right? We make love, and then I'm going to put it down to the dream, but it lasts as long as it lasts within the dream. And when she sits up, for the first time I see her face, it's Wayne Rooney's face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, former England football player and notoriously not very handsome fella, Wayne Rooney. And I wake up hot. I woke up so confused. I stopped taking the tablets because I just made love to Wayne Rooney with a stunning body. It was the most insane thing. But then what really worries me, that's in my brain somewhere.
For some reason you thought of that. Your mind created that.
My mind put all those things together.
I think we need another episode to digest that dream a little bit and consider that.
maybe bring a psychiatrist for that one. But those are in my 41 years, those are the only 2 dreams that I remember. Like, why?
Well, not only did you
tell me why, Luke.
Not only did you make it, it was powerful enough to stick with you forever.
Yeah. Scarred. Yeah. I've never looked Wayne Rooney in the eyes ever again. No,
I'm not quite sure what to say to that, except that, imagine if he'd had the same dream at the same time and he's like, who the fuck was that guy?
Whose body's this?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, what's your opinions on meanings behind dreams? Like, do you think it's your subconscious trying to get out? Do you think it's just visual stimulus from the day? What we got?
I don't think I tend to read any meaning into it. I think I see it as it's some sort of subconscious processing. We know there's certain things that happen when you sleep. We know that you convert short-term memories into long-term memories. Your mind decides which bits to keep, which not to keep. It does all sorts of things to do with shedding toxins and things. So I think a result of that is that some sort of, I don't even know, imagination part of the subconscious gets tickled a little bit and comes up with random bits of the day, and that's how I see it. I don't tend to look at any sort of meaning into it.
They say that if your dreams cannot, like in a dream, you'll never see the face of someone that you've not seen before. So even if you don't recognize them, then you have seen them.
Can't make a face. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
bizarre.
Really bizarre. Maybe that's why I put Wayne Rooney's face on her. I don't know.
Maybe his face is stuck in your head somewhere.
It's all coming together now.
Yeah.
I did. So I don't ever do research for this podcast because I just love kind of being taken on the journey or joining my guests on the journey. But this is something which, like, the brain, I just think is fascinating. And this, I personally do think it comes down to the brain, and it is just picking random bits of information, whether it's TV or other stimuli, plus things that have happened in your day, your emotions, kind of certainly towards the end of the day, frustration. I think it kind of puts it together in just a really weird puzzle, and puts it, but obviously can change due to, I don't know, drink and drugs and very heavy Champix.
Yeah.
and then you have the people who say, yeah, well, there are meanings behind dreams. And that's what I said. Like I said, I don't do much. You usually don't do any kind of resourcing for this. But I would like you, I've got three questions for you. I'd like you to guess why that person had that dream, okay?
Right.
Okay. Pure guesses. It's all right. No pressure. You don't.
Yeah, I was going to say I have no idea of dream reading or interpretation.
I thought you came on. I thought you came on as an expert guest on this.
Not at all.
Okay. If you have too many shrubs in your garden, so you're dreaming that your garden is just overflowing with specifically the word shrubs. Now, I don't really know what a shrub is. Is that just general garden stuff? I don't know.
I thought it was just like a small bush.
Small bush. Well, you have you're dreaming of a garden which has plenty of small bushes.
Right.
What do you think would be your brain is trying to communicate with you?
Something to do with lots of small stresses, I would imagine. Lots to maintain. Too much going on.
Yeah, getting out of control. You've got too much. Yeah,
getting out of control. Yeah.
Apparently, it's because you're not too happy with your husband growing a moustache.
Oh, is that what it is?
Allegedly, yeah.
Okay.
I actually prefer. I think yours really probably probably does it a bit better, actually, doesn't it?
I'm not sure I ever would have guessed that, but.
And you know what? I think we've just discovered your next book.
Yes.
Just Dreams According to Luke.
Yeah.
Okay. You're dreaming that you are Thor, Marvel or not, but Thor, and you can control lightning. What's impacted you in the real world to have that?
See, after the moustache one, I'm a bit thrown off. This could be anything now. I think in my head, my first instinct would be something to do with if we consider lightning like a powerful, uncontrollable force, and you've taken control of it, I would suggest it's some sort of desire to take control of something big that's going on at the moment in your life.
Yeah. Okay. Or it could be a celebration that you have.
Or a celebration,
and you're big and powerful.
Constantly feeling empowered. Yeah.
Allegedly, according to the website that I googled up, it means that you might kill your boss in the coming future and make it look like a natural disaster.
Oh,
Again,
wouldn't have guessed that.
I prefer dreams according to Luke.
Yeah.
But there's a dream for it.
If I dream that now, I will know what it means and what it's telling me to do.
So. That's it. And if Luke's boss is listening,
yeah.
then bunker down. It's going to be all right.
Apologies. Yeah.
And okay, last one then. Yeah, you're a squashed ant.
A squashed ant.
Ant. Yep, as in the insect. Yeah. You're a squashed ant. What's?
Oh, that's the whole dream.
Just in your dream. But would you hang on, wait. So would you be looking upon yourself as a squashed ant, or you are an ant and then you're like, well, I'm squashed?
I think in a dream you just know. Which is another, without going off on a major tangent, that's another frustrating part of dreams, is that when you're writing something and you want to go, right, someone goes from their house and goes up onto a space station and goes on top of a building, and you have to fill in all those steps and work out logically how it works. Yeah. In your dream, you just step out of a room and you're somewhere else, and it makes sense. It's all logical. And it's the same with people. You can look at people in your dream and they look nothing like the person that you know they are, but you just know they're someone else. Yes. I'm envious that I can create this type of thing and then lose it. Anyway, squashed down.
That's very poetic.
Yeah. So I'm dreaming that I'm a squashed down.
Yeah. However that is, like you say, you just know you're a squashed down.
You just know. Yeah. I would say it's something to do with you're obviously pressed against something. I would assume the floor is Wayne Rooney and you are in bed, perhaps.
I've made such a big mistake. Up until now, there's about 8 people that knew about that.
Yeah.
Now there's 9, and my stepdad, who listens regularly.
I'd go with something to do with pressure, feeling under pressure, feeling things on top of you.
Yeah. It's apparently it means that your boss might murder you at any point.
Oh, okay.
And I'm guessing that there's been some cues or something like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never would have guessed any of those. So
no, but I think
I won't make it as a dream interpreter.
No, I think you did, because it's all rubbish anyway, Luke. So actually, you just go out there and tell people. Which I'm gonna offend some people by saying that, and actually no, because I don't know enough about it to understand the complexities, and I'm always happy to be taught. My current state of mind is it's stimuli and chemicals in the brain and neurons and electrons, etc., etc., etc. But and drugs and alcohol, not drugs. I don't do drugs, but I do alcohol. So there you go. Alcohol is the problem.
Yeah, I'd say the same. That's what my logical mind says, that it's not something that can be read into. But of course, it's all calculations, isn't it, in your head somewhere? All of this has come from somewhere to build to something. So the idea that somebody could sort of reverse calculate that and work that out, I'm sure it's possible. It's not something I could do, but I'm sure it's.
Yeah, but then
I'm sure there's some signs there.
I actually think you have discovered yourself a little hidden talent there, because I'm a big fan of a game called Fake Facts, and it's one of those things where I say, "Oh, me and my eldest lad made it up," but people everywhere play some version of this. Basically, there is a subject, or there's Olympic ping pong on the television, and you start talking about it like you know what you're talking about, and then the other person joins in. And other people within the room either choose to believe you, or they think you're really weird. And you just talk like that, because I guess we're bored a lot in my house. But it's a fun game. But essentially, you could create a whole, like, hey, I'm dreaming of a broken down tumble dryer. Luke, what? Yeah. Please explain that dream.
Yes, look, now you've caught me completely. A broken down tumble dryer. Yeah, so I think you're not too happy that your wife is growing a mustache.
Yeah, she's gonna kill you, like. So there's that film, Inception.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? It's about dreams.
I've seen it many times before.
Many times. What's your favourite bit? Describe it in detail.
Yeah, the dream within a dream bit, that was good. And there was a twirly van, a squashed ant. There was all sorts going on.
There's a squashed ant. There's a lot of shrubs.
Yeah,
heavy on the shrubs in that. They got the twirly bit. I don't remember. I remember seeing it, and it's in a dream within a dream. You're never quite sure when you're in the dream. I mean, that's just a film, but that sense of being within a dream and not knowing you're in a dream. I don't know. I mean, you hear about people who can control their dreams, or you can train yourself to control the dream.
I've had lucid dreaming before, where you get some element of control, where you realize you're dreaming, and then you can just do certain things. But it tends to be when that happens, the creative side of it goes, the interesting side goes, because your logical mind kicks in, so you just sort of wonder about talking to people and that.
Complain about the weather.
Yeah.
Have you asking people if they've seen the film Inception?
Yeah, exactly.
And ask them what they dreamt about last night. No, start telling them. I might see that's next level. Right? Within your own dream, you start telling people about your dream, and they can still say that they don't care. Like, I'm here because you put me here. Like, I don't care.
I'm not bothered.
I'm not bothered. Get me out of it. I do think it's fascinating, kind of dreams, and like I say, they're fun. I wake up and I know I've had a nice dream. Very rarely remember, or don't really remember. If I do, it's passing, and it is that as a creator, as I like to call myself, I wish I just wrote stuff down just instantly, or just pick up the voice note and just start saying it, because if nothing else, I'd like you to interpret them for me. But also, I do think it's quite wondrous how what your brain, these worlds that your brain just either makes up or puts together. I've been rewatching Game of Thrones recently.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I said it like that. Game of Thrones recently.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. What was your favourite bit from season 1?
When spoiler alert, but when Ned's head got chopped off, that was pretty funny. I think because it is about the 4th time I've watched it, I'm halfway through again, and there are bits I remember, like Joffrey getting killed may be the best thing that it's made me happier than when I had any of my children. Like
if that sounds exaggerated, you haven't watched Game of Thrones. If you see Joffrey, you will understand.
That's it. God, that guy does such a good job. Such a good job that people like heckled him down the street.
I did hear about this. Yeah, he got a lot of hassle.
Yeah, because people for some reason can't separate an actor from a character. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not unhappy about how it ended, but that's I've put
that's another podcast.
It is. And you know what? I've put a challenge out before to anyone who wants to come on and discuss Game of Thrones season finale or whatever, last season with me. I'm happy to do that. But it is that, sorry, to get back to the point, I've watched all that. So a lot of, dreams I have, wake up that feeling of, the sense of wide open plains, but also ultimate doom. If you're going to start Game of Thrones, certainly into, but I also had, rewatched the entire Walking Dead. Again, love it. Okay, that I can take umbrage with how it ended, but I'm a massive zombie fan. My zombie movie collection, yes, kids, before when DVDs were a thing, before everything was at your fingertips, is quite extensive. And so I rewatched that, and
you can't beat a good zombie film, though, can you?
You definitely cannot. I mean, you can rarely beat a bad one, actually, as well.
No, indeed, they're always fun.
But yeah, I watched so much of it that it was, and I enjoy it so much. I don't find it scary or anything like that. So but it influenced. It did influence my dreams. Kind of this mild horror, but ultimate delight.
Yeah.
I know.
Have you going off on a tangent with zombies though? Have you seen Cockneys versus Zombies?
I have.
I am a zombie in that film.
What?
Genuinely.
For real?
Genuinely. Yeah, but I ended up being in the film for like 2 seconds at most. But still,
that's enough. That is enough.
Yeah.
Luke, Melia, you've gone even higher up in my expectations. Like you are now, you're in kind of reaching God tier now.
It was fairly. It was a very lucky thing where I happened to see it on some website. They said, "Oh, we're looking for zombies. Send us a picture of yourself." I sent them a picture, and they said, "Yep, definitely." I'm not entirely sure what to make of that.
That is not a compliment.
But I did it. It was great.
Yeah,
great fun.
See, because I see stuff like that. Like, one day I'll just go along and just get fully in, and I'd be happy with that. 2 seconds in a zombie film would be great. And I have seen Cockneys vs Zombies. That my mind does get a little mashed because you've got so many of those versus zombie films now.
There's a lot of them, I know.
There is a lot of them, but long may they continue. And do you know what? The poorer quality, the better. Was it Boy Scouts versus Zombies? That was a good one.
We watched that recently, and I thought it was going to be awful. It was surprisingly fun.
Yeah, it is.
Stupid, but fun.
It is.
Yeah.
What's that? What's the one? And I'm sorry, we've kind of gone off on a bit of a tangent now. But the one, there's the school bus, there's all the school kids. I don't know, there's a really good one. And like all these kids. I mean, it's funny when kids swear, right?
Yeah.
It is. Oh, as long as it's not your own in public. But anyway, dreams. It's like anyone who's listened to certainly more than one episode of this knows that a wild tangent is on the horizon at any moment in time. So, okay, we've had a good old chinwag about it. First of all, anything else at all you want to say on the subject of dreams?
I think we've covered it. I think we just started to touch on this idea of people who don't know they're dreaming. Yeah. Which is something else that it's not really something that's annoyed me as such, but it's always slightly fascinated me, is this idea that you could be dreaming and not know it. Particularly in now, this is something I've written before, and I know you happen to have read this, but in this idea that as you die, you have about 7 minutes, they say, for your brain to shut down fully. And there's a belief that you could be dreaming for that entire time, which is what people see when they see their life flashing before them and things. Or some sort of afterlife is this idea that you could be dreaming for that whole time. And because a few seconds of a dream can feel like a long time, that 7 minutes could, in theory, feel like years. You could be living a whole other life and not know. We could be in that place right now. You could be imagining you're doing a podcast.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
I don't think we are, but we could.
Do you know what? I was like, wow, that just got deep, Luke. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like literally, my memory as I'm dying is sat on a podcast talking to you. Like
I'm trying to tell you what's happening, Geoff. I'm trying to tell you what's really going on.
Oh my God!
Your brain won't have it.
And actually, just before we started recording, my cat brought a frog in. So within my 7 minutes of final life of my brain, I'm talking to you with there's a frog somewhere in this very room.
That doesn't sound realistic. That sounds very dreamy to me.
Oh, you need to stop.
Yeah. If Wayne Rooney walks in, it's got serious.
Oh man! Hang on.
No, you're all right.
Okay. Okay, that is amazing. So, yeah, roughly 7 minutes of the brain still working as you're popping your clogs or have popped. Yeah. So your body's shut down, so your heart's not working, your brain's just kind of the brain's dimmer.
Shut down.
It's like a light bulb that's reaching its end, and it's slowly getting more and more pathetic as you're trying to shave, because the shrubs and your missus dreaming of shrubs. So when you wake up from a dream, that dream happened within the last 6 minutes or something, and you
I don't know yeah, I've heard this, but I'm not sure what the numbers are.
But you only remember
really
a certain
recent.
amount of it. But
Yeah.
even though that happened within such a short amount of time when you're asleep, it takes forever to explain, because people always take forever to explain the dreams. So you got 7 minutes, of life. That's quite euphoric, though. I mean, as long as you kind of, lived an all right life, I suppose. Because if you're just reliving all the horrors,
that's
not fun. That's not nice at all.
But
why would you say this, Luke? You're making me think way too much.
But imagine if you'd if I don't mean this to any disrespect to anybody listening who has some sort of faith, but if you've got
some kind of faith.
No, faith.
Oh, faith. So
some sort of religious faith. Because what I was thinking is, if you'd spent your whole life believing that when you die you're going to go somewhere, and your body then knows it's shutting down for the end, it might be that your brain would create a dream situation that you would find some comfort in. That you'd found this afterlife. Yeah,
that's true. And do you know what? Mine actually probably would be sat here talking to you, or watching zombie films.
Or watching zombie films, yeah.
Or actually, the greatest film of all time, let alone horror. It's not a zombie film, but the greatest film of all time is Killer Sofa.
I have seen Killer Sofa. There used to be a podcast called "Is It Better Than Killer Sofa?"
There is. That didn't there? Oh, that's
a throwback.
That's funny, isn't it? But I actually had Bernie Rao, the director, for an earlier episode. We're having a good phone about dogs. And he said at the end of that number 2 is coming. But anyone and everyone has to watch Killer Sofa. A possessed chair. And it's not even and I have addressed this with them, that the fact that it's not a sofa.
It's not a sofa.
It is a reclining
chair,
It's a recliner, it's like, well, killer recliner actually does sound all right. But be sat there eating Doritos. Unless, and maybe this is kind of faith driven, that if you've been a good person, you have good memories, and if you've been a bad person, you have bad memories. Even if when you were alive, you thought you were, I don't know, indifferent about your thing, but actually you ultimately were a bad person. It all comes crashing down. I mean, I don't think I'm a bad person, but my end of days, that 7 minutes, I don't know, I'd probably be running. Because I haven't been like a really bad person, but I just haven't been the best Geoff I could be, and I hate running. So it's probably running, and I'd be chasing. Like there'll be a pot of Pringles just in front of me, but I just can't quite get to them.
Yeah.
And that would be it, just for 7 minutes.
That sounds terrifying.
It does.
Yeah.
So on that note,
well, I hope that doesn't happen for
you. Yeah. Or actually, no, I'll be stuck on hold to HMRC. Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, because and then just as the light, the final flicker just leaves me, I'll get through.
Yeah.
And then I'm dead. Which is ultimately like real life anyway.
Absolutely.
Right, Luke. Okay. I've enjoyed this. It's been an awful lot of fun. But
thanks for having me on.
We
finally made this happen.
My pleasure. I know. Thank you very much for rebooking. We're rescheduled, but there's still one final job left. Can't just go. How are we making it better? How are we making dreams better?
How are we making dreams better?
Okay. I've got a couple of minutes if you would like me to start. But
I've got 2.5 ideas.
Okay.
I think. Okay, to make dreams better, remember it fully, like we do yesterday. Like we do, we have, when you've forgotten a dream, it's gone forever. There's things in our past that we think we've forgotten, but then there's smells or noises or people talking about it even. We can bring those memories back, but we can't do that with dreams. So I'm going to say, remember it fully. If you remember the dream, you'll be able to remember it again. But if it's gone, if it's one that you lose as soon as you wake up, you're not getting that back.
Yeah.
So remember it fully. Fully control it while you're there. That's another thing I'd like to be able to do. control it in the same way that we subconsciously do it. So we can be lucid, but be able to create at the speed that we can in our dreams. We can fill in all this world building around us without having to think that through.
Yeah.
And the harder one is maybe share it, but I'm not sure about that one.
Well, I tell people.
Create a shared space so that when you dream, we can all be in that same space.
Because that has, I don't know, every so often the inner sanctum of Geoff gets a little bit deep, and I'm like, is there that, like, I know I'm not talking, I don't know, spiritual or faith or anything, but are we connected on that level? Yeah, trees, they're connected. The answer is, my logical brain says no, but what if we are, that we're in that state and we have gone through? And that I'm kind of put a bit more meat on your first idea, which was kind of remembering it. And actually the bit where you said smells and touch and sight and sound, things like that. I mean, because I do think someone's probably already invented it, or if not, it's around the corner, that you can wear something on your head when you go to bed. That rhymes, so it's got to be real. And it creates, I'm not saying a movie adaptation of your dream, but it knows it can, you can build a picture from the data, right, of what it is. And again, it may not know that the thing you're afraid of is, but it can, if it had enough data on you and your brain, you'd be able to match the brain waves and the signals and all this stuff. I'm kind of making all this up as I go along. But then, because it compares that data with, so in your dream, you ate Pringles, right? And I'm talking about sour cream and chives, maybe paprika, salt and vinegar, sometimes, right? It depends on the dip. Never really salted. So you've got your sour cream and chives Pringles. I do expect sponsorship. In your dream, and that data converts, it goes down the wires and it goes into the machine. And because it compares the data over in the real world when you ate your Dorito or Pringle, it knows that that's what you were thinking about.
Yeah.
And then what it does, it puts all that together from your dream, brings all that data together, and it creates like a scratch and sniff board. So when you wake up, it prints it out. You can't really remember it. You give it a little scratch and sniff. So I'm doing a motion now that no one apart from you can see of scratching and sniffing. just I'm holding up my left hand to my face and using my right hand to scratch the hand, and I'm sniffing it. And that will bring back the memory.
I think you should cut this bit of the podcast and get this on Dragon's Den. It's a great idea.
I thought you were going to say, because Geoff, you are still on the drugs.
We're missing the technology bit as to how we make this happen, but we've got the idea there.
That's it. With the ideas, guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone can knock that up easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel like mission complete.
Done. We fixed dreams.
Dreams been made better.
Yeah.
Right, Luke.
Excellent.
Hit me with some knowledge on you. Where is it that all these wonderful people that have listened to us complain about dreams for so long, where can they find you? Where's your work?
So books, the best place to find me is just put my name into Amazon worldwide.
Spell your name, Luke.
Luke Melia, Melia. Put me into Amazon, you'll see a whole host of stuff. The latest one I just launched is a novella called What Could Have Been. So that's the one I'm attempting to push out there a little bit at the moment. That's
another one I need to purchase. I do have my Luke Melia collection.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, big fan.
Yeah.
It's an honor for me to have you on, actually.
Well, thank you very much. I actually have your book under my desk at the moment.
Look at that. Look how we pay each other on the back. Maybe this is the last 7 minutes of my life.
It could be.
Okay, now all the links for everything will be in the bio of the podcast. Check out Luke's stuff. Hey, it's not for kids, but there's some amazing work in there. Just the body that's being created, Luke, is fantastic. And yes, okay, I'll go and I'll buy another book. But
you'll enjoy it, hopefully. What I will say is, if you put in what could have been on Amazon, when I started writing the book, nothing existed. But after just as I was about to release, there was a song released. Somebody else released a book with the same name, but you'll find me. The
irony of what could have been, eh?
Indeed.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, my favourite will always be White Room of the Asylum. Just because,
which is about dreams, if you don't know.
Which is about dreams, isn't it? And
yes, a shared dream space.
That's a wild ride, that book. All graphic novel, but love it. Everyone that's listening, go and check out Luke's work. Thank you, Luke, so much for joining me. Using your very precious time. You're a very busy guy, and I really do appreciate it. And everyone, check out Luke's stuff. Check out more episodes on the podcast. Come back and see me. There's more stuff coming out, and all there is left for me to say is thank you from me, and it's thank you from Luke.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
Say goodbye, Luke.
Yeah. See you, everybody.
Bye. Nice wave there. Everyone waves at the end.
Yeah, everybody waves.
But everyone waves. Yeah, still nobody understands this is a podcast. No. Okay, take care, everyone.
I'm waving.
I'm waving. Take care, everyone. Until next time. Thank you.